G'day History Gamers, it's Greg here from historygamer.com, and here we go with the last turn of Game 5, Spring 1902. It is just on time. We have, it's just past, it's 1 minute past, and we have 6 who have put in their orders. We have not received an order from Eddie Zucchini, but we have from everyone else. So the result of that, of course, means that Eddie Zucchini, who is Italy, all of his forces will hold. That's the default. That's what happens. To be honest, I'm not sure what else he was going to do anyway. The only places he had a chance of getting anything were into Trieste or into Marseille, and they were pretty dim chances, but that was his choice, so that's where he's at. Now, I'm going to... I'll put in his score, but for most people I'm going to hold off on the build part until afterwards, so I don't get confused and say, oh, there's an army there. No, there wasn't. if you understand. Anyway, let's go ahead. Sander Phileas is first up. Sander is playing England. So what's he done with his 3 fleets? Fleet Mid-Atlantic Ocean to Portugal. Fleet Channel to Belgium, Fleet North to Norway. All looks pretty good to me. Let's see what we've got. Okay, now hold on to your seats. That's probably what I want. Here we go. Whee! Okay, maybe not quite that much. Okay, so we have Fleet Mid-Atlantic Ocean moves into Portugal. Easy capture, no problem. No one else can get there, that's a guarantee. English Channel goes to Belgium. Okay, now maybe he's hoping for some support, maybe from Germany. I don't know. We'll have to leave that as a no at the moment, but we'll just leave it sitting there. North Sea moves into Norway. Okay, now that depends what Russia does. But as things stand at the moment, I would count that as 5 supply centers. So we'll leave that as it is, and then at the end I'll come back and count everyone and add in the extras. But that's a pretty good comeback at the end for England. Okay, next is Theodore. Theodore is playing Austria. Ah yes, poor Theodore. Whose comment is disappointed. Dot move. Okay, yes. Now let's see. Army Trieste hold. Army Vienna support Army Budapest hold. Army Budapest support Army Vienna hold. Right, the double holds back and forth. So he is just sitting there holding because he can't do much else. Trieste is holding by itself. Vienna is supporting Budapest, and Budapest is supporting Vienna. Okay, fine. Clear, simple, straightforward. Let's move on and see if that works for him. A1 Bomar. A1 Bomar is Germany. And he says he only has one thing in there. Holland support Belgium. It's not exactly a regulation way of putting in a move, but the implication is there. Now, actually, in fact, it is a little ambiguous. I presume it's meant to mean Fleet Holland support Belgium. Okay, yeah. Whereas Fleet, otherwise he would have been saying Fleet Holland support Fleet English Channel to Belgium if he was supporting that one. So he's supporting that. As it turns out, it doesn't matter anyway, unless France has an order to move that out of Belgium. England is not going to get in anyway. So that's it. And the rest are hold. So he still has, at this point, his 5 supply centers and his 5 armies, so he won't be building any extra 5 units. Okay, let's keep moving on. Christian Condré is... In fact, actually, before I go to Christian, I'm going to do John McGuinness because he's up there with France, and we'll see what happens with them. Because of the effects of one another. Army Marseilles moves Spain. Army Paris moves Brest. Army Belgium support Army Holland. Right. Fleet Brest moves England. English Channel, that must be. Okay. So Army Marseilles moves to Spain. Oh, great opportunity would have been there for Italy if he'd known, but that's how it is. So, and then Army Paris moves to Brest, and the fleet Brest. Well, Army Belgium is supporting Army Holland, which gets cut, of course, but yeah, there's no way that the English Channel gets into Belgium. And the last thing is Fleet Brest moves English Channel, which it can't do because that one's there. So that one just goes back to Brest, and this one just goes back to Paris. They just bounce back, and that's it. But he did achieve one thing. He went in and captured Spain, which means that he has 5. So that will be good, and we'll check that at the end. Last move, no, 2 more moves. Christian Condré. Christian Condré is Turkey. Let's see what Turkey has to do. Turkey. Oh yes, Turkey down here. Okay. Whoops. I want to look here. Turkey. Army Serbia to Budapest. Army Greece to Serbia. Okay, let's look at those two. So we have that trying to attack there, which isn't going to make it at the moment, but it does mean that it's that Budapest's support of Vienna is cut. And this one will not move into Serbia because, for the same reasons, because this one did not get through. However, there may be complications, so we will just have to see for the moment, but we'll just leave those there on the border, staring across with angry eyes. Army Constantinople to Bulgaria. Right, yes, that one makes sense. Moves straight in, unless Russia wants it. We shall have to see what Russia has ordered. But yes, otherwise, certainly it's going to get that. I might recolor that. We'll see what happens first. Fleet Ionian to Apu. Now, Apu is not one I'm used to, but it's Apulia in there. So Fleet Ionian moves into Italy. Now, there's no supply centers there. So it's nasty and threatening, but doesn't actually achieve anything. But then he couldn't do much else anyway. And last one, Fleet Smyrna to the Aegean. So just deploying our forces out there as if something was going to happen. I am going to recolor this one, or you won't be able to see it. Just picking a spot away from anything that might confuse the fill. There we go. Let's move that into the Aegean. There it is. Okay, that just leaves one, and that one is Diplostrats. Diplostrats has Army Sweden hold. Right, okay, that makes sense. So back up here, Sweden did stay there. It didn't try to grab Norway as well, which makes sense as well. Army Bohemia to Vienna. So Russia was coming in with an attack here, and at the moment that doesn't work, of course, because it's 1-on-1. But the next one is Army Galatia support Bohemia to Vienna. I've sort of given away that I've read this, haven't I? So this army is supporting that one in. This one now has no is defeated as 2-1 because the support is broken. So there would have to be a retreat or disband order. Since this is the last turn, if he loses the supply center, I don't know which way Steve wanted that. I'm going to retreat it to there for the moment. That's a situation I hadn't thought of before, because Austria is now down to 2 supply centers with that and cannot support the 3 armies at the next build phase, which is kind of at the end of this round. So therefore one will be disbanded. I'll think about that while I go on to the rest of the move, which is Army Romania supports Serbia to Budapest. So this army here is supporting this invasion into Budapest. Now, because of that's gone and cut, there's no support on Budapest, so that is 2 against 1. So this one loses out as well and has absolutely nowhere to retreat to. Has to be deleted. It's gone, and in goes Turkey into there with Russia's help. Yes, a strong alliance here that's gone on between Turkey and Russia that has paid out very well for them in the end, hasn't it? So my only question then is what's going to happen with that one. So, okay, now I'm going to go around and check everybody's supply centers and put in extra armies, and we'll put the scores in. So we're going to start up with England. Now, England is very successful in the last turn. The very last turn now has 5. And so is going and has plenty of room to build another couple of units. So we'll just put in fleets. Say a fleet in Edinburgh, and let's put another fleet over in Liverpool. So England ends on 5 units. Very well done compared to where things were looking. England 5. Now, let's look at Germany. Germany has no change at all and remains on 5. France now has 5 with the Spain and Belgium added in, so we get an extra army that I'll put in Marseilles. France is on 5 as well. Is there another? Oh, there was. Oh, Christian Condre wished everyone happy weekend, everyone. I thought there was another thing in there. All right, so that leaves, I've already scored Italy, so that leaves Austria, Russia, and Turkey. Okay, so scrolling down to the southern part of Europe, Turkey now has its initial 3 plus another 1, 2, 3, 4. This one still counts because it was acquired during that fall year, the last fall year, so it hangs on to it until someone takes it. So that's another 4 on top. Of course, you can only, that's 7, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can build another 3 here, which adds to their existing. No, hang on, that's 7 they've got. And they've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out there. I'll just recolor that. Yeah, that worked fine. It's 5, so they can build another 2. So let's build a couple more armies. Oh no, let's give them control of the seas. I'm gonna have one fleet up there in Ankara. Oh, these are gonna have to be the different color, aren't they? There we go. To dominate the Black Sea, just in case Russia changes its mind. And another one. No, I don't want that actually. I want this one. One of these down in Smyrna, ready to advance and follow up with its fleets across the Mediterranean. So that is the sum total of Turkey, 7. Tremendous score for Turkey. I don't think we've seen that before in this game. Now let's look at Russia. Russia has her initial 4 still, plus Sweden 5, 6, 7. Russia also has 7. She has 4 on the board at the moment, so she gets to build another 3, which she can do all within her territory. So let's put in 1 in Warsaw and 1 in Sevastopol and 1 in Moscow. Yeah, or St. Petersburg. That's fine. Let's put it there. Doesn't matter, does it? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Russia scores 7. An excellent score as well. Now the only question is what score I put down for Austria. They've only got one supply center left. I think that means they have to lose this, the way we've been playing. If Steve, I will check with Steve, but they can't support it anymore, and we're doing a default build, so therefore it would be disbanded if it were a regular build. So yeah, they're down to 1. Very, very disastrous. We'll probably get another big wow from Theodore. He really got hammered by that team up between Turkey and Russia, didn't he? And there we have the end of the scores, and you can see the graph here, and this orange one, yip, beep, beep, boop, beep, boop. There's Austria really struggling along. Italy remains constant on 4, and we had some climb. Germany remained constant on 5, where it was joined by France and England with some excellent last minute takes. And up there with 7 are the 2, Russia and Turkey. So what has that done to the scores at the end? Well, we now have Diplostrats and A1 Bomar equal on 28. Diplostrats was Russia this turn and did an excellent thing. That missing moves last turn didn't hold him back at all. And A1 Bomar was Turkey, I think. Yes, no. A1 Bomar was Germany, wasn't he? Yes, that's right. So it's his previous scores that are holding him in there. But we've had the other... so Diplostrats climbed up well there. The other one that had a good climb was Christian Condré with his 7. Pulls him up into 23. Not equal to the top group yet, but close. Eddie Zucchini stays on... He's on 26. Sandafilius also on 26. They're in equal second. These are equal first, equal, or maybe you call it equal third. And so then coming in, yes, Christian Conray's in 5th, John McGuinness in 6th, and Theodore with that awful battle in Austria is 7th at the moment. This is the scores as they are. And that's it for Game 5. Okay, that leads us on to Game 6, which will begin on Monday with the first turn, the fall 1900 turn of single alt builds. And I have to show you again, remind you who is playing what. Eddie Zucchini is Austria. John McGuinness is England. A1 Bomar is France. Christian Condré is Germany. Diplostrats is Italy. Theodore is Russia. And Sandafilius is Turkey. So those are our new placements for the Game 6. Just the 2 games to go now. 2 weeks to go to the end of the championship. So orders for fall 1900, please. I need them in 5 a.m. GMT on Monday, which is the 19th. Monday the 19th of November. And as Christian Condré said, I hope you all have a good weekend. See ya.